Number 11. Learn to breathe deeply and well. Your body and your brain function on oxygen. This is why aerobic exercise is so good for you. When you work out aerobically, you pump high levels of oxygenated blood to your brain and throughout your body. It makes you feel terrific. The very best breathing of all is yoga breathing. This is where you sit erect in a chair and breathe deeply 7 to 10 times. The method is simple. Put your hand on your stomach. Breathe in deeply to the count of 10, forcing more and more air into your lungs and pressing down on your diaphragm. Once your lungs are as full of air as possible, hold it for a few seconds and then exhale slowly to the count of 10. Repeat this exercise 7 to 10 times and do this breathing exercise about twice a day. Especially, take a few minutes to do deep breathing exercises prior to any important meeting or presentation. Deep breathing immediately drops your mind into alpha, clears your brain, calms your thinking, and releases your creativity. After a process of deep breathing, you will emerge feeling happy and peaceful and ready to perform at your very best. By the way, your lungs are terribly important to your health and longevity, and smoking is the very worst thing that you can voluntarily do to your body. Smoking has been closely associated with at least 32 different diseases and ailments, including several different kinds of cancer, plus blood diseases, skin diseases, arteriosclerosis, heart disease, and several other ailments. Regular smoking will cut an average of 8 years off your life. The good news is that if you quit smoking altogether, within a few years your lungs will recover completely. You will have far more energy. You will look much better, and you will feel terrific about yourself. Your food will taste better, and your chances of living to a ripe old age will increase dramatically. Number 12. Drink alcohol in moderation. According to the studies, the most common recommendation for good health is moderate to nil alcohol consumption. Interestingly enough, people who have an occasional drink socially or with dinner actually live longer than people who are complete teetotalers. One of the great rules for success in health and life is moderation in all things. Excessive drinking is a major cause of traffic accidents, deaths in the home, deaths from sclerosis of the liver, violence in the family, lost jobs, lost reputations, and failures in life. This is not for you. Moderate alcohol consumption is usually defined as no more than 1 or 2 glasses of wine or drinks with dinner. And this rate of consumption should be no more often than a couple of times per week. The entire subject of alcohol consumption is very controversial, from people who are totally opposed to drinking a single drop all the way through to people who are quite comfortable with having wine with dinner each night. This is something that you have to decide for yourself. Just practice moderation. There are 2 great exercises with regard to drinking that I recommend. The first is that you take a 30-day period each year where you do not drink a single drop. This is a good discipline, and it demonstrates to yourself that you are a casual drinker and that you can take it or leave it as you choose. A second exercise is for you and your spouse to alternate drinking with dinner for a few nights. On one evening, he or she drinks with dinner and you stick with water. The next evening, you drink with dinner and your spouse sticks with water. You both get a chance to observe how each other behaves and how different you feel when you're not drinking. This can be a real eye-opener. Number 13. Drive to stay alive. It's absolutely amazing, but the number 1 cause of premature death up to age 35 is traffic accidents. And most of these deaths by traffic accidents could be prevented if the drivers and passengers were wearing full lap and shoulder seat belts. Throughout your life, you have a greater chance of being killed in a car crash on the way to the airport than you would ever have flying with the airlines. Driving within the speed limit, stopping at stop signs and red lights, looking both ways before proceeding, and generally following good driving etiquette will do as much or more to assure that you live a long life than anything else. Insurance companies rate drivers with moving violations as far more likely to kill themselves and others than average people. There's something about an attitude of respect and caution when you drive that spreads out into other areas of your life as well. When you drive, give yourself ample time to get to your next appointment. Build in a cushion of 15 to 30 minutes so that you can relax and stay calm and alert when you drive rather than feeling harried or pressured to get through traffic. When you drive with other people, ask them all to do up their seat belts before you set off. When in doubt, go slower rather than faster. Make a decision right now that you're never going to get another traffic ticket as long as you live, and then drive accordingly. When you drive, keep both hands on top of the wheel at the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock positions. Sit erect and forward. Make sure that you can see through your mirrors on both sides and behind you. If you're tired or fatigued, pull off the road and take a nap. Don't overdo it. Finally, when you drive in traffic, assume that everyone else is a bad driver. Assume that they are not looking or paying attention. Look forward 2 or 3 cars so that you can anticipate what the car in front of you is likely to do. And drive every minute as though a police car were right behind you and it was close to the end of the month and the police officer is behind in the traffic tickets he's supposed to give out to fulfill his quota. This will keep you driving at your best. Find it. Finally, resolve to be cheerful no matter what happens. A positive mental attitude is most obvious when things go wrong. It's easy to be positive and cheerful when everything's fine, but it's when you have unexpected setbacks and difficulties that you demonstrate to yourself and the world around you what kind of an attitude you really have. Make sure that it's a positive attitude. Number 16. Develop a proper perspective. More than 50 years of research shows that the happiest and most successful people take a long-term view of life rather than being caught up with the ups and downs of each day. You develop a proper perspective in life by realizing and accepting that you are a thoroughly good person. You are honest, decent, positive, and valuable in every way. You can like yourself, respect yourself, and be proud of yourself for the person that you have become and for the life that you are living. You don't need to explain yourself or to make excuses to anyone else. The biggest mental obstacles to health, happiness, and long life are the 4 horsemen of fear, doubt, guilt, and anger. These 4 emotional destroyers of fear, doubt, guilt, and anger do more to undermine health and long life than all other factors put together. You can overcome your fears by confronting them. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. You overcome your normal fears of failure and rejection by moving toward them rather than avoiding them or moving away from them. You can overcome your doubts by forcing yourself to do it anyway, even though there's no guarantee of success. You develop self-confidence by acting confidently. You get rid of your doubts by acting as if you had no doubts. As Dorothea Brand once wrote, act as if it were impossible to fail, and it shall be. You can overcome your feelings of guilt by remembering that no one and nothing can make you feel inferior or guilty without your consent. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for any reason. Remember, you are a thoroughly good person, and you deserve all the good things in life. And finally, you can overcome your anger by deciding in advance that nothing will disturb the calmness of your mind. Think about the things that cause you to react angrily. Decide in advance that when those events occur, you will not allow yourself to become upset, You will remain calm, positive, and relaxed. You will be patient, forgiving, and cheerful. You will not allow yourself to become upset or anxious. This form of mental preparation is one of the most powerful ways to control your emotions ever discovered. Just decide in advance that you are going to be a thoroughly positive, cheerful person, no matter what happens. And you will be amazed at how calmly you respond when the inevitable problems and setbacks occur.